بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, we are going to take lesson 15B, that was lesson 15A. So this 15B from ruling number 1241 to 1243. Whenever you pay khums in advance in certain areas where you are supposed to pay the khums, you don't have to pay khums again, unless if there was extra. So for example, the diving product, when you dive and you get out pearls and coral and all those kind of things, and you sell it. So once you sell it, you have benefits, okay? Or you get it out and you check the value of it, so you pay the khums of it. After the exclusion of diving cost and all those costs are excluded, because that's from your capital of investment, and capital of investment is khums paid, assumably. So we assume that always whenever we talk about regaining capital of investment, because say the Sistani as capital of investment must be khums. So capital of investment is khums paid. So what happens here? That you are like all mineral products, gems of metal, copper, iron, you dug and we discussed this in the previous chapters, but say the Sistani is mentioning here that is there double khums on it or not? What does that mean? That means I already paid the khums, okay? And then I sold the items. And then at the end of the year, I had this remaining. I had balance, I had savings. Do I have to pay khums again? No, you paid. Because there are some certain items you pay the khums immediately before you spend on your living expenses. But your salary, you pay the khums at the end of the year, after you exclude your living expenses. So now you paid the khums of diving products, products taken out of diving, or products extracted from the ground, minerals. So you paid the khums in advance. So now at the end of the year, if you have something remaining from that, do you have to pay the khums? No, you don't have to pay the khums of it. You don't have to pay khums double, because these items you pay khums in advance. Salaries, you pay khums at the end of the year. Okay, that's why the khums is on the saving on the salaries. Capital of investment, you already pay the khums of it from the beginning. So he says, إذا كان الغوص وإخراج المعدن مكسبا. If diving, okay, getting out production by diving, or getting out minerals from the ground, maksaban, it was a source of earning. Kafahu ikhraju khumsihima, it would be sufficient, because you have to take the khums out of it once you get it, once you earn it, not at the end of the year. So that will be sufficient. ولا يجب عليه إخراج خمس آخر من باب أرباح المكاسب. So you don't have to pay the khums of it at the end of the year, whatever remains from it, after you have used it in your living expenses. This is no. إلا إذا ربح فيهما فيجب الخمس في الربح. So that original amount which you paid the khums, the value of pearl was 100 kroner, coral was 100 kroner. You paid the khums of it. Now, in the middle of the year, it became 150 kroner. So you sold it for 150 kroner. You valued it when it was out. The market was 100 kroner. Now it's 150. So the extra value, you have to pay the khums of it. Okay, so this is what he says though. So as mentioned previously, the diving production must be khums in advance and not at the end of the year on certain conditions. Therefore, if the mineral production or the profits of diving was the source of earning an income for a person, and he had paid the khums of it in advance, as you have to, then he does not need to pay its khums again at the end of the year as the khums of the remaining of the income after excluding the annual expenses like other areas. You don't have to do that because you already you already paid the khums of it, unless if there was an extra profit over the original khums paid wealth in both of the types, then the khums would be paid on such extra. Okay, ruling number 1242. So what about the women? Are women obligated to pay khums? Obviously. If you will say no khums, women are exempt, then people, oh, this is discrimination between men and women. So at least here we don't have different responsibilities, because there are certain areas women, they have different responsibilities, like monthly period issues of salat and fasting. So we can't say they have equal responsibilities. Allah made each one of them responsible according to their capacity, according to their nature, according to everything. So that is justice. So justice is not like equality. Equality is sometimes will cause injustice. If we'll say men and women are equal, that means she has to pray when she's in period and she's in distress and she's in that, then we are doing injustice to the women. So no, we give everybody what they deserve from the responsibility. So she needs to be relieved from the responsibility when she's in the period. So she's given that. But when khums issue, they both are equal, because if they both earn, they both have to pay the khums. If they don't earn, but they got gift, they got present, they got income, it was not used until the end of the year, they have to pay the khums of it. If husband takes care of the wife and she's also earning, she has to pay because husband takes care of her needs, so she has to pay the khums of her own. So basically, whatever she has unused at the end of the year, she needs to pay the khums of it. The year of possession, she did not use it till the end of the year, she needs to pay the khums, whether it's income, whether it's gift, whether it's earning, whether it's husband supports, whatever. A woman who earns, يجب عليها الخمس, it is obligatory upon her to pay the khums. في جميع أرباحها, in all her incoming profits. Why? Yes, because if the husband is taking care of her needs and necessities, and she doesn't have needs and necessities, all what she's going to do is extra expenses, because husband is obligated to spend on his wife with her needs and necessities. So then في جميع أرباحهن, every income, every single penny, إذا عال بها الزوج, if the husband takes care of her financial obligations, financial needs. فلم تصرف شيئا منها, she never spent anything from her income in her living expense, in her living. So in her living needs, she never spent from her income, obviously. So that's an extra. So she will have to pay the khums of it. وَكَذَا يَجِبُ عَلَيْهَا الْخُمْسِ, similarly, it is obligatory upon her to pay the khums إِذَا لَمْ يُعِلْ بِهَا الزَّوْجِ وَزَادَتْ فَوَائِدُهَا عَلَى مَؤُونَتِهَا. So if the husband is not supporting, yes, she has to pay the khums. How? She has to pay the khums of the extra. Okay? If the husband is not supporting us, she will use for her living needs and necessities in her income. And after that, whatever is remaining at the end of the year, she'll pay the khums of it. بَلْ وَكَذَا الْحُكْمِ إِذَا لَمْ تَكْتَسِبْ. Similar rule, more even, the similar rule, the rule above will apply even if she was not earning. وَكَانَتْ لَهَا فَوَائِدْ مِنْ زَوْجِهَا, and she had benefits from her husband, أو غيره, or anyone else, father for example, فإنه يجب عليها في آخر السنة, So it is obligatory upon her to pay the khums at the end of the year for whatever exceeds her living expenses or exceeds her needs and necessities. So her state is similarly to the state of men. كغيرها من الرجال, similar to the ruling of the men. In general, وبالجملة يجب على كل مكلف, every responsible male, female, every responsible person means a person is responsible, whether he's sane, insane. In this, the responsibility expands to the insane person and the child. To say this Sistani, Damadullah. Sayyid al-Khuy says no, the child is not obligated. Khums is not obligated. Sayyid Sistani says the child is obligated. However, he can pay when he becomes baligh, okay, or his guardian pays. That's the difference between Sayyid al-Khuy and Sayyid Sistani. So children money, well, Sayyid al-Khuy followers used to save and they would not have to pay the khums unless the child becomes baligh. For Sayyid Sistani, no, the guardian pays the khums. If not, then when the child reaches the age of adolescence, he needs to pay the khums of it. So, يجب على كل مكلف, it is obligatory on every single responsible person. كاسبا كان أم غير كاسب, earning or not earning, okay, who is earning or who does not have any earning. So كاسبا, earning or not earning. أن يلاحظ, to observe, ما زاد عنده في آخر السنة, whatever exceeds with him at the end of the year. من أرباح مكاسبه, from the incoming profits which he has, okay, profits of his earnings. From profits of his earning, he needs to pay from every type of income, from his business or any other source of income, whether such was less or more. قليلا كان أم كثيرا ويخرج خمسه. So that's it. Extra, pay the khums of it. Okay, what about the sanity and adolescence? Some ulama, they say if a person is not sane, if a person is insane, or if a person is not baligh, there's no khums obligated because he's not mukallaf. That is the definition, general definition of taklif, of responsibility, that a person needs to be in that in this level. However, Sayyid Sistani says there's no indication, evidence that these conditions are required in the khums, that a person should be sane or has reached age of adolescence. So if he's insane, there's no khums. If it's a child, no khums obligated. Sayyid Sistani says insane person is wealth of insane person, the khums becomes obligated upon it. Or a child. However, the guardian pays the khums, or whenever they regain their consciousness or they reach the age of puberty, they pay the khums. So this is what Sayyid Sistani mentions. Ruling number 1, 2, 3. لا يشترط البلوغ والعقل, the condition of reaching the age of puberty and the sanity is not required. It's not a condition required to in khums, in all what the khums is obligated on. في جميع ما يتعلق به الخمس. في جميع ما يتعلق به الخمس. In everything, whatever areas of khums we mentioned in the beginning, first lessons of khums, there. من khums, من أرباح المكاسب, the incomes of earning, the profits of earning. والكنز, the treasure. والغوص, diving product. والمعدن, minerals. والحلال المختلط بالحرام, the halal which is mixed with haram and you're not able to distinguish. You found out that there's some haram money in your wealth, but you don't remember how much, and you don't remember the person for who. So that money you need to pay the khums of it. So all these things, you don't need to, the person does not need to be baligh or does not need to be sane. So even insane person, if the guardian finds out there is haram mixed in the haram wealth mix in the money of the child or the guardian, then he needs to pay the khums of it. فيجب على الولي, therefore it is obligatory upon the guardian, إخراجه من مال الصبي, to take it out from the wealth of the child, okay, or the insane person. وإن لم يخرج, but if he does not, the guardian does not. Let's say the guardian was following Sayyid al-Khui, he said, why should I take the khums out? They are not wajib on them. But they are not following Sayyid al-Khui. وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِمَا, then when they reach the age of adolescence and or they gain the sanity, then it becomes obligatory upon them to pay the khums of it. نعم إذا كان الصبي المميز. Sabi al-Mumayyiz is discerning child, a child which knows good and bad, which can distinguish this is bad, this is good, this is haram, this is halal. You know, some kids are smart, so there's no age, proper age. The average age, they say, it's about 8 to 9 years old. But still, some kids I've seen 5 years old, they are mashallah, very sharp and they are distinguished. And some kids, they're 11 years old, not reach the age of puberty. They're kids, but they can't distinguish. They can't know the difference between good and bad. So this discerning child, if a child was discerning, let's say he followed Sayyid al-Khui, مقلدا لمن لا يرى ثبوت الخمس. He was doing taqleed to a marja. His marja died, but he was a discerning child. And he was doing taqleed to this marja, like Sayyid al-Khui. When Sayyid al-Khui died, you were a teenager, not teenager, below. You are a child, below the age of puberty, below the age of adolescence. So, and you had wealth. So if you had done taqleed to Sayyid al-Khui when you had not reached the age of puberty, but you are a discerning child, you need the good and bad. لا يرى ثبوت الخمس في مال غير البالغ فليس للولي إخراج منه. Let's say the wali, the guardian is following Sayyid al-Sistani Damadullah, but the child was following Sayyid al-Khui when in a discerning stage where he would be able to distinguish good and bad, he was following. So he became insane. Okay, let's say Sayyid al-Khui died and he became crazy because he was obsessed so much with Sayyid al-Khui. But this is wrong. Or let's say he had not reached the age of puberty. So in both cases, you see, لمن لا يرى ثبوت الخمس في مال غير البالغ. So he was not considering obligatory khums on the wealth of non-baligh, غير البالغ. فليس للولي إخراج منه. Then the religious authority, the guardian of the child or guardian of the child, it is not obligatory. Let me repeat this masala. نعم, however, إذا كان الصبي المميز, if the child, discerning child, was doing taqleed, كان مقلدا, to who? لمن لا يرى ثبوت الخمس, to the one who does not consider khums obligatory on the wealth of a child. Okay? فَلَيْسَ لِلْوَلِي إِخْرَاجُ مِنْهُ, then the guardian cannot take the khums out of it because there's no khums obligatory on this child. He's not following your marja, he's following some Sayyid al-Khui, for example, and he was a discerning child. And then we have this next session, I'm going to talk about kulli and shakhsi. I just want to explain this before we move on to our next slide. So basically, let me just okay, so here we have the kulli shakhsi. What is kulli shakhsi? Kulli and shakhsi are two different types of transaction. Two different types of transaction. So kulli is not kuli. Kuli is the guy who carries load. Kulli is in general, in generic. Shakhsi is specific. Like what they say, the general specific. A book, general. This book, specific. Okay, let's say, I'll give you another example on the book. I want Kitab Asbab al-Nuzul. Okay, Asbab al-Nuzul, we have 10 copies. Which one you want? Anyone. So when I say anyone, that is what? Kulli. In general, I just need Asbab al-Nuzul. Choose one copy and give it to me. That is Kulli. You know something? Give me that copy. So this became shakhsi, specific. Why? Because you checked out the pages were okay, because whenever you buy a book, you have to check the pages, because sometimes books, they have blank pages. It happened to me when I used before. Like nowadays, alhamdulillah, you don't find this unless you might get a book from Pakistan or somewhere. So out of 100 books, couple of books, the ink of the printing press finishes, so it starts printing blank page, and the book is binded and sold. So now the buyer got, oops, what is this, invisible ink? So that problem can happen. So is this understood? Kulli shakhsi. Kulli specific. Oh, sorry. Kulli general. I need a book of Asbab al-Nuzul. Which copy should I give you? Any copy. So this Kulli. I need this copy precisely. Sir, you can take the other copies as well. No, I want this copy specifically. I've checked it. The papers are okay. I don't want to check every single book. Okay, sir, then it's yours. So this is specific. Now, this is the product which you're buying. Sometimes the money, let's consider this like $100 bill or €100. I'm buying this book, this specific book, with this specific €100 bill, this specific note. So the both are shakhsi, specific. I purchased the specific book with the specific money. So I want this book and I'll give you this money. So this is called shakhsi. Good. Now kulli. I want to buy a book of Asbab al-Nuzul. Sir, which one? Anyone. And I'll pay you €100. And I have 10 €100 notes in my pocket, for example. So I'll take out anyone. So my deal was on what? My deal was done on kulli or shakhsi, on specific or in general. My deal was done in general. So the guy brings me a specific by his choice, and I take out €100 bill specified later on. But the deal was done in general. So that is the difference between general and specific. So now we take opposite. I want this specific book for €100. So what is general here? The cost. The cost is general. What is specific here? This book. Or the fourth scenario, I want to buy with this €100 book of Asbab al-Nuzul. So which book? Just give me any book. Asbab al-Nuzul I need. Okay, that's fine. So this was specific item, no, specific payment cost, general item. The before was specific item, general money cost. Or it could be both, could be general, or both could be specific. Shakhsi means the sale is done on specific title and a particular specific piece of the item that falls under the title of that group. Asbab al-Nuzul, this Asbab al-Nuzul. Similar is understood for the specific money of the cost. This €100. Kulli means in general, that the sale was not on a specific item. The sale was not done on a specific item. Let me fix this down. The sale was not done on a specific item, but on its title or its cost amount, and not on the specific money. Therefore, the specific piece falling under that title would not be specified, was not specified. Okay, not done on a specific item, or amount was not specific. Therefore, the piece falling under that title, under the Asbab al-Nuzul, was not specified, or the money of the cost was not specified. It was general. Thus, after the sale or agreement, on the general title of the item or its cost, it becomes debt on both sides. We made an agreement, khalas. Now, this, I made a general. So this book, to choose a specific, is now on your shoulder. Now you give me the book today, tomorrow, the sale has been done, and you have to pay me the money, or you have to give me the book later on, whenever the agreement is. So this is called fi dhimma, as a debt. So now once you made a deal and you agreed, finish. Now I have to give you the book. So it's debt on my shoulder. You have to give me the money. It's debt on your shoulder. So it becomes a loan kind of agreement. So kulli ma fi dhimma is a loan type of agreement. Like the aeroplane industry, they do like that. Thus, after the sale on the general title of the item or its cost, it becomes a debt on both sides, and they both become obligated to hand over the specifics to each other, which can be at any time, which can be any item that falls under the title agreed, and it could be handed over later as credit sale. Like, remember credit card or credit sale? Paying now, buying the plane later. So payment is shakhsi, but getting the plane kulli. Or opposite, credit card. You pay the credit card by credit card. So credit card is nothing. So you got the item, but then the bank, the shopkeeper will get his money from the bank later on. So you are responsible for the payment later on. So that is, a payment is kulli. The agreement can be in four forms. Both the product and the cost could be shakhsi. Both the product and the cost could be kulli. Both the product could be shakhsi and the cost could be kulli. And the product could be kulli and the cost could be shakhsi. If khums is not given as shakhsi or specific, then its value becomes obligated as kulli. It becomes a debt on your shoulder. If you don't take the khums out of it, that means it becomes debt on your shoulder. It becomes a kulli on your shoulder. Or if the books got deteriorated and you had to pay the khums of it, then or if it gets deteriorated after using the money, or the item becomes perished. So once the item becomes perished, it becomes a debt. Once the khums of the money becomes perished, the khums of the money becomes a debt. Kulli. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين.
صلي على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم